Okay, so we're having trouble with charging on this ATV Polaris Sportsman 570. This machine has a battery relocation kit, so the battery is located in the back, which includes a new bracket located where the battery used to be. It also has the arm stator, advanced stator, where the original stator used to be. However, when running the engine, we only get 12 volts. It's not charging properly, which makes the machine or the battery run down. What we're gonna do is gonna replace the stator cables, which has been relocated down there. They were located by the battery before. We're using the original cables right now. We're gonna replace them with the ones that came with the stator, and hopefully something will change, because right now it's a mystery. We're also gonna unplug all auxiliary lights, everything that's auxiliary, plow steering, winch, flashers, work lights, everything is going to be disconnected, and we'll move backwards or forwards from there. So we're going to back all the way down to bare bone to be tuned. Okay, so what I've done is I have removed everything, checked the connections, and reattached them. There's still one, which is for the flashers and the backup lights, which is this one. And as you can see, it's pretty burnt, so it's probably too narrow gauge to manage the load. However, it has been overheating even before, or even without load. So I am guessing it's a bad connection. I have moved the handlebar, hand warmers, and I believe, no, the warmers are still attached to the connection points. This is the charger for the quad lock. And if it's possible to see, the positive is quite rusty. So I'm thinking maybe we should move it. There is one pin left that's unused. But at least now I'm getting 14 volts. See how we do this. Now it's consistent. Above what I was getting before, which was 12 volts. And I'm quite happy with that. It's time to reattach the rest one by one. So what's left are these. These are the work lights on the front box, as well as signal for the relay for the work lights on the plow. And I have to test the plow adjustment. At least the winch works now. I can try that right now. Let's see. Should have enough juice in the system. Yeah. Now it's working without problem. But now it says 12 volts. Because that's probably what's in the battery right now. So if we start it up. Instantly jumps up. So we're back in business. I don't know what to do about the flashers. I probably have to remove the cowl and rewire it because I need the flashes when plowing. That's the backup light, reverse light. I need that one as well. So what we'll do is take a pause and then we'll rewire those with, I think they're attached to the same cable. I believe they're the same, and then they're split up in the cowl, and one splits off to the flasher switch, which is the red one. The green one is the backup light or reverse light. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's pretty late, but I was out plowing today after the previous work with the ATV. I realized that the plow adjustment didn't work, or it worked on occasion. But I finished the plow and came home and I realized what the problem was. That small tab right there has come clean off, which caused the connection to be somewhat glitchy. And right now I'm a bit dumbfounded about what to do about it. I guess I could glue something, but that would break instantly due to cold, and whenever the plow moves and whenever the plow attachment moves, that will break. It's not under tension. Attached. It's normally attached to that small bracket right there. And I really don't know what to do about it. I'm gonna see if the local supplier has. If I've been in contact with them before about Polaris parts, about Polaris connectors, and they have come up short. But I would like to see if I can get hold of this connector. It's a 2-pin connector for the plow adjustment. It's Polaris original, so it should be, I think they should be able to keep some sort of stock about connectors and everything that wears and tears. But I was trying to find, I've replaced the original indicators before, and I wanted to get hold of the original connectors so I didn't have to cut them. But they're not they don't have a part number, and I'm guessing those doesn't either. So for now, it will work this winter because I normally have to run around with a plow anyway. But once spring shows up in a couple of months, I need to be able to. I can usually easily put a Ziploc or whatever it's called on there and keep it connected, just to keep it under tension. But at some point I need to remove it, and I need to have a more proper solution for the future. That wasn't the problem with the electrics in general, because there was issues behind the coolant reservoir is the connection spot for the mounting point for the, well, that's where the battery was connected before, so that's a junction point for the extension. I'm not sure that was the issue. I think the issue was with the junction up here. Of course, I already replaced everything, or reassembled everything, so I can't see it. But that was the big. I think that's the issue, because one of the connection points is all rusted. It's rusted. The nut is rusted. The connectors are rusted. The pin is rusted, and I'm planning to move everything over to the next pin over, because that one is still clean. But at some point I believe I have to remove the entire connection unit, whatever, and clean it up properly, or even replace it if those are replaceable, because Polaris. Yeah, that's it. It's charging now when it runs. Before, I think it was probably running straight off the battery. I don't think the regulator had any connection with the battery because of a bad connection. So it was basically draining the battery 75% of the time, and once in a while the connection was good enough to give some charge, so it jumped from 12 volts up to 14 volts, but almost within 30 seconds it dropped back down. So I had spontaneous charge, and that was basically draining the battery. So now I charged one battery up. I've gotten a new battery, so the new battery's installed. The old battery's over here on the floor, and I'm fairly certain that there's nothing wrong with this battery. It was just that. Let's see if I can do this in one hand. It was just that the regulator wasn't charging the battery properly. So this one never got properly charged while mounted on the Sportsman. So it was slowly draining. Yeah, you see, the charger says it's full. Well, no, it just now dropped out. But yeah, it says it's full. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that battery. So what I'm planning to do for the future, in the long run, I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of a second. Move this out of the way. A second relocation kit. As I said, this is the QuadLogic. I'm in Sweden, so I had to order this because there is no one in Sweden that carries these. There are those in Sweden that carries QuadLogic, and they probably order QuadLogic through Parts Europe. However, I've come to learn that Parts Europe is dependent on Parts Europe America division, and the America division has decided that no electrical parts, as far as I know, will be exported into Europe. This by itself is not an electrical part because this is a static mount. However, it comes with extended cables that runs to the junction point. That's the word I was looking for before. The junction point that is mounted behind the cooling reserve. Those are electrical parts. That's copper cable. So I'm guessing that's why they don't carry this mount. Your guess is as good as mine. So, but what I was planning on doing or thinking about doing is maybe getting a second relocation kit, cut the mount off, weld it in the opposite spot over here, and mount it on the other side. However, that might not, now that I think about it, be possible because the muffler is in the way. Okay, new plan. Maybe get a second battery and mount it in the original spot, unless the new junction point is in the way. I'll figure something out. I know that in earlier models there was the battery was mounted underneath or in the cheers. The battery was mounted in the storage box or close to it. In this location, because then it was lifted out from dirt, debris, water, or moisture, and out of the way and easy access. Then they redesigned the chassis in 2016, I think, and thereby having to relocate the battery. So they put it at the bottom plate, the skid plate, right in front of the engine. Just grabbing my Torx. And for once they listened to their customers and once again relocated the battery up top to get it out of the way for easy access. I haven't worked on a newer model, so I would know, but I think that, well, I don't know what they did with the junction point. If they left the junction point where it is right now, I'm removing the access lid as we speak, as they say, as they do. I'm gonna see what the status is. I need to recheck the connections. See that where did that go? Screws. There it is. So that the nuts hasn't shifted. Since I'm having issues issues with reliability. I really want to make sure. I mentioned earlier that it's hard for me. Might not be hard for others, but it's hard for me. That's because I have a handicap. You might not show, might not see it, but I have one. My right foot is busted. It basically looks like a big toe, although I have no big toe. I need the 3/8 because of the illness that I got stuck with in 2019. So being able to do this plowing that I do for a friend, it gives me purpose. Gives me something to do. Well, not purpose, but it gives me something to do. I'll put you there, maybe, yeah. Which I normally don't. I need the 10 mil. 10 mil. Just gonna disconnect the battery real quick. Let go. Come on. There we go. If I don't have something to do during the day, I sort of slump and I get nothing done, or not much, that is. Fiddling with the battery. I don't want all the amps running through my fingers when I'm messing around with the junction point. There we go. I can hang around. Okay, so if we look at the connector, why is this so tense? Can you see that if I move this, perhaps? Fingers. That one is really, really rusty. If you look at the negative, fresh as a daisy. The problem is that there is the nut for the junctions or the pins is. Can I put you somewhere and you will stand? No, I cannot. They have what's it called? Not spacer, shim, whatever, that is feathered or flanged. I need to find a spring. I don't think I have one. I have a lot of stuff. I have a shitload of stuff. But I wonder if I really have that. Because I think it serves two purposes. One is to just add load to the connectors. The other is to actually act as free bearing, if you get my drift, so that the connector doesn't break or twist when you tension up the nut. if you don't have that free rotating bearing, or I've lost the word, spacer, whatever. I think you get what I mean. If you don't have that, it brings the nut brings the connector with it, twists it around, so you have to add tension to it or hold it back in some way. I have too much stuff. Nuts, bolts, stuff. Maybe. Yes, that's it. If it's not too big. This is 6.2 mil. 6.2 mil. How will that look on that pin? There's only one way to find out. Let's see. I cannot put you anywhere. You'll just fall over. There we go. Nope. I just need to get the spacer out. Why is this so hard? Okay, there we go. Let's see how this looks. Too bad. What is that? Is that the... I think that cable right there, that's the negative for the winch. Let me look through the camera so that I'm not pointing the camera everywhere. That's the winch, and that one is right now in the way. Okay, we'll move that. Space. What's it called? Is it called spacer? No, it's not called spacer. Spacer you use for wheels, to extend the wheel. About my health again. Yeah, so I have a handicap. My right foot, as I said, looks like a big toe. I have no toes on the right foot. I've had to amputate all the big toe just before the head of the first flange. And also the little toe is amputated back half the foot. Well, they call it medically. They call it dig 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Where 1 is the big toe, 5 is the little toe. So I have the first flange of the second and third toe. However, I have what's it called? Webbed feet all up through the first phalange. So it looks like I have no toes, but I have the first flange on the second and third toe. However, because of my illness, I can't move those toes, those phalanges. They are locked in position. That doesn't look okay. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? There we go. That might actually work. That might be able to put enough. You can see that. See, there's little to no play. No, I can't even get it up. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is not drop this. I'm gonna remove everything from the positive move it over one pin to that pin. Put the nut back so it doesn't fall off. Because that pin is healthy. And at a later stage, I am going to... Are you going to thread? I'm going to remove the entire bracket. The junction point. You see, there's only 3 pins. And I think that's a 10mm bolt. However, the other one is hidden somewhere. Yeah, it's right there underneath. You can see it. No, I can get you there. Move that. At some point, I'm going to remove the entire bracket and clean it up. I have no idea why that one gets so rusty. And you can see here is the new connector. I like running things clean, so that's why I added the shroud. That's the shroud right there. I still haven't strapped it down. Zip tie. I looked for that word earlier. Zip tie. Yeah, I'm gonna zip tie that. I'm going to add zip ties, or the shroud and zip ties, to the cables, the connector I relocated earlier. This is, as I said, this is the charger for the phone, or for the mount, the quad lock mount. This cable, however, is not very long. Or is it? No, I have relocated it. Okay, so what didn't I? What is this then? This is... Oh! Okay, I only moved the charger. I moved the wrong thing, or I didn't move all the things. I'm going to move that as well. That's the this one is for the heated grips. And I'm gonna cut that. So I'm gonna move that as well over to the other junction down there by the old battery location, just to not have so much junk on this junction. Because as you can see, there's 1, 2, there's even an extra nut there for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, 6, 7 if you count the inner ones. So there's a lot of stuff on those pins, and as it sits now, it's a hassle to just get the positive nut threaded because there's so much pressure on the pin. Am I gonna do it now? I don't know. I might as well. So let's go over to the I need to wear Crocs because that's basically indoors. That's the only thing I can wear. I cannot walk bare feet. Bare feet. Because I can't walk on that foot on the floor. It has been twisted. It has twisted itself to the left, to the right, I mean. And the underside of the foot, the sole of my foot, basically looks like 3rd-degree burns. And I'm not quite used to waving around a camera, so you have to excuse me for not focusing the camera on what I'm doing. And why am I filming portrait? I have no idea. It just came to be that way. I have to move the whiskey. Good stuff. I inherited from my father when he retired. This is good stuff. We had electrical issues here last year. When they came to check on it, he had no clamp meter, so he couldn't check the cable because it couldn't access it. Paddle away! I'm not gonna do the sound that Raymond Ray says or does. So, okay, this is how it sits now. This is the charger. I'm gonna cut those ties, and I'm going to. I wonder if they fit. Will they fit? Will it blend? That one will fit. However, I'm wondering if it will fit in the same hose. I'm not even filming what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Will that fit with the other one at the same time? That's focus.